Gwe, Aboyo Ani, Tanzi, Segos Kanangoa. Kiniskamidzena, Teluidijik, Amsquas, Wachkovenia Hagewisk. Unchija Hamich, Wade Desigo, Deligalit, Wabeg Nestabilmejit. Ani Migma Wisk, Winamagi, Clearly. Ategoyahid, Wabanagi Gawa. Greetings from my heart to yours. My traditional name is First Dawn Woman. I come from the traditional lands of Winamagi, sometimes called Cape Breton, and I am a citizen of the Wabanaki Confederacy. So I want to begin by lighting a smudge before I offer a prayer. I'm going to send the smudge your way so that as I pray, our spirits are united with Creator, with the grandmothers, the grandfathers, and the ancestors in the spirit world. And also, our spirits and our hearts are united in prayer. Because the heart and the spirit transcend that physical realm. So we'll pray in our language. Isuk, Iniskamijina, Gugamijina, Asahawegi, Muiwalolek, Uchignike Lavala, Edamolek at Koiwinin, Isabahan Madokiek, Edamolek Ilkujalan, Skijino, when Majidaso Tijik. Iganamuyek and Siduahan. Iganamuyek, Wantahodi, Exalsudi, Mugiganodi, Ahan Siduahan. Muiwalolek, Uchitande Sigiganamuyek, Wula Sit Hamuk, Hamusigiskadu. Muiwalolek, Uchitkaniskamijine, Nago said. Uchidnugamijine, Depkano said. Ouchid Wigigam Kutchik, Glohaway Jich. Muiwalolek, Uchitandel Miligiskat. Ulaliak, Uchikahtugo, Uchidepsan, Akik Besan. Muiwalolek, Uchinkijinen Mahamiga. Uchidnugamijine, someone. Uchidu choose how chit poktel. Muiwalolek, Uchitandel Milamu was Halian. Atandel Milamuxik, Gamuj. Uchitandesid Waisis. Sisip Jij, Achip Jij. Atandel Milamuxo Tijik Chujij. Amuiwalolek, Uchitan Desij Nemejik. Kaidamulek, Abon Muinin, Lamangisto will be Martisnin, Stahanengi Gunahi, there will be Mardodi, Unumuktamodahan. I'm Sidnogama, all my relations. I want to, first of all, I really want to talk about our people and their resilience and the beauty and the kindness of our people. I have traveled to many Indigenous communities, both in Canada and in the United States. And I have not met a kinder people than our people. Anywhere I travel, when I go to a Native community, I feel at home. There is so much kindness and goodness in our spirits and in our hearts. And I believe that we, as Indigenous people, need to become leaders in our homelands. We need to take on that leadership. And we need to teach the rest of the world what it is like to be a human being, to live with humility, to live with humanity. And we need to teach that world that the way to go, to stop investing in materialism, but rather invest in humanity and teach that world to love and to care. That is why our babies, our children, ended up in residential schools, because people did not know how to love. People did not know how to care. And it was a way of dehumanizing us. But I want our spirits to shine through, to become the people that we were meant to be. And as our Mi'kmaq honor song says, that we need to help each other and we need to act in the way that Creator intended when we were placed here on the earth. And I want to share something with you that one of my sisters from New Brunswick wrote to me the other day. My friend Mi'kmaq. She said, I believe that these little ancient spirits are here. They have shown themselves so that they awaken humanity to rise to our divine sacredness. And that is what we need to do as human beings, is rise to that sacredness, to the sacred beings that we are, and to treat people with the utmost dignity and respecting them, but keeping dignity intact. Right now, I want to share a poem that was written by a beautiful young friend of mine who is from Uegoba. She works for a Department of Education, the Mi'kmaq Services Branch. Her name is Naomi Perard. And she wrote this poem, she said, in less than 10 minutes. It just came to her. And I believe it came through spirit. So I would like to share that with you now. My mother lost me one day while I was playing down in the fields. She searched for me for days and weeks until she no longer had it in her to continue. The thing I miss most about her was the smell of her hair. She had a magical touch to take away my tears. Now I smell nothing. Now my tears just make my eyes swell. I am here, but I am not. In my mind, I am there at home. My mother found me today. I could feel my spirit lift from the ground. I know her heart never stopped searching. Her spirit told me she missed the smell of my hair and my magical touch to take away her tears. After she rocks me in her arms, I can't help but smile because I am home. We are home. And I hope that we can bring all our children home. Miigwech and Yawa Walalio, Kesalulo, Ganalukwa.
Olaliak Jane. Ula ini ula dabigiakan hiltema dalawisi migmawaner song. Ni dalawisi Michael Ardeni aka tlewi unwega di dalawisi kasi sonik unamagik ni naulno. Mi walkiga da desul da desul di wajida residential school mi walugik movie walugik megi lang kitan dako gisa dudish ula nige dandel milkigna unwe kokowe na wala dabigiakan mi mawaner song. This greetings everybody. Thank you Jane for that wonderful and beautiful opening. We honor those residential school survivors, and we honor those who passed on, but also those who survived and brought back those old teachings, brought back those ceremonies, brought back powwows, brought back our own ways. So with that, I'm going to sing the Mi'kmaq honor song, and Jane mentioned a little bit about that. And at this time, we are going to have 2 minutes and 15 seconds of silence in honor of those 215 children.
Nation. I am a granddaughter of a residential school survivor. And I'm going to be reading I Lost My Talk by Rita Joe. I lost my talk, the talk you took away, when I was a little girl at Shubenacadie School. You snatched it away. I speak like you. I think like you. I create like you. The scrambled ballad about my word. Two ways I talk, both ways I say. Your way is more powerful. So gently, I offer my hand and ask, let me find my talk so I can teach you about me.
Gwe, Deluisi Lideni, Deleo Yesasoni. Allegwe, Confederacy of Mainland Mi'kmaq, Illinois, Abontic. Gedon Mula, Kiziwigi, Rita Jo, Deluisi, Eniga, and Siduna. Eniga and Siduna, Give us a doina. Everyday G. Julianic, Sabinegadi. A bit jo doina. Delisi in Cregil, Delidasi in Cregil. Kiziduan, Emi, we got sigo, which you don't know him. Eluisi Elnuicto, a Halaseavicto. Aglaseavicto, Achkina. Nanugo, Elnimo Nipin, Ahedamo, Asidemi, Wajian, and Sidun. Kalman Giziginamotus, which it name.
Well, this song that I'm about to sing, we sing it in ceremony when I'm with Jane Meader and the grandmothers and Membertou and the grandmothers from all over. And this song is called the Ancestor song. It is sung in Ojibwe. The song, it was taught to me by a gentleman from Manitoba by the name of Carl Swan, and one of my brothers, J.R. Isidore. The song, it says, Zungizi Anishinaabe mijua'ji'jkik, which has a couple meanings, but the great people, but it also could mean strong man. We thank you, Creator. So this Ancestor song comes from the Treaty 3 area in Ontario. It's an original song by the Anishinaabe people. Hey, And at this time, I'd like to introduce Rebecca Thomas, who's going to be reciting a poem.
Gue, Deloisi Rebecca, Deloisi Mijua'ji'jkik. I am the daughter of Tim Redfeather Thomas, who went to the Shubenacadie Indian Residential School for 5 years as a child. And I'm going to be reading I'm Finding My Talk. It is the companion book to Rita Joe's I Lost My Talk. And I just wanted to say that my dad went to residential school and lost his ability to speak the language. And it is a language that, as someone who didn't grow up speaking it, is a challenge to try to figure out. But listening to you all speak, I'm hearing more words than I ever have before. And I just wanted to say how proud I am to be part of a nation who held on to the language with such strength. So that maybe even as I grow older, I will learn more and more about it. So this is a poem called I'm Finding My Talk. I'm finding my talk, the one I never had, the one that the schools took away from my dad. I'm finding my talk one word at a time. Gue, Wulal, Namote. Sometimes they're very old, sometimes they rhyme. I'm finding my talk when I'm up on the stage, telling big stories or scribbling words on a page. I'm finding my talk, I'm meeting my family, I'm making new friends who choose to love me. I'm finding my talk with clumsy feet that pat down the grass with every drum beat. I'm finding my talk with every bead. My regalia speaks through each stitch and seam. I'm finding my talk. It's in my smudge bowl. When the smoke curls around me and makes me whole, I'm finding my talk, how it's written across the land, learning to take only what I need. Nedugalum helps me understand. I'm finding my talk through my community, from elders to kids. This world is still new to me. I'm finding my talk by speaking to my father, by loving him and being his daughter. I'm finding my talk by speaking with my sister, knowing we're different and how much I miss her. I'm finding my talk through my nephews and nieces, teaching them they are complete with all their different pieces. I'm finding my talk. It's on the inside. It's how I see the world through not one, but two eyes. I'm finding my talk, and it may take some time, but I'm learning to speak in a language that's mine. Lala, thank you so much.
I think I'm up next. Good evening, everyone. My name is Deanne Sack, and I'm honored to be here with everyone and participating in this event. The picture that we saw earlier today when we had our 215 seconds of silence, when I first saw it, it gave me chills. And the caption on that picture was, quote, in a small voice whispered, "They found us." That almost made me cry. I had chills, and every time I think of this, it's profound. These little ones, the 215, and the many, many more, they'll be honored and reunited with their families and their homes when they're repatriated to their communities in a sacred way that honors them. I was provided a teaching a while ago, and it was about truth. Truth never dies, it's a spirit. It sits and it waits. So, and the other thing is we never die, we just change worlds. So that came to mind when I saw that picture with these little spirits. And each time We pick up our medicines, and each time we dance, and each time we sing, and each time we drum, and each time we pray, we honor their little spirits, and we honor the rest of the spirits that haven't been found. Continued prayers for the families and the victims and the communities. In our language, Amsitnogama means we're all related. We must be aware at this time to be gentle and to be kind, because the survivors are still healing. The recent discovery of the 215 little spirits may trigger unhealed wounds, and these pains run deep. So to the survivors and the descendants, if nobody's told you, I love you. Nobody's told you today, thank you. Thank you for being resilient. I did a prayer the other day because I was so overwhelmed with everything that I saw, and I'll share it with you. I'm at a loss for words with all that's going on in our world. I'm exhausted and I'm profoundly sad. If I'm feeling this way, I know others are as well. When times get tough, I turn to my bundle and I pray. I pray each and every one of you remains physically safe, emotionally and spiritually. I pray we exude kindness and spirituality and empathy. I pray we hold space for one another in a sincere and a supportive way. We may never understand, nor we may never get the answers that left many of us speechless, but that's okay. Take care of one another and be kind. It's always free. I turned to ceremony years ago. I'm a sundancer with the White Eagle Sundance, and I turned to ceremony because of my personal trauma and my work-related trauma. I recently signed my retirement papers, 25 years with the RCMP, and it kind of, I giggle because they called it my release date. And I was like, release date? Holy moly, I guess release date, 25 years. And I don't mean to laugh, but I remembered a call. My partner and I won't say what province or what community I was in, but we just got back from a call that was like physically, emotionally, like it just drained us. And I was driving and I kind of zoned out, and I was obeying the traffic law and stuff. And then my partner, for like, it was a long time. And my partner's like, hey, Dee, that stop sign's never going to turn green. So it was just some humor there. He said I was zoned out right deadly. I think it's because I'm from Chauvier. So like I said, I recently completed my retirement papers, and I'm really proud. I'm proud of the fact that, you know, my release date will be July 2nd, but I'm proud of the fact that I did it. I'm done. I've served as best as I possibly could. And it was really funny because the guy doing my paperwork says, what do you want in your certificate? And I said, I get a certificate? Holy moly. And he's like, yeah, the Prime Minister of Canada is going to sign the certificate. What do you want on this certificate? You do not ever ask Deanne Sack like an open-ended question like that. So I put it on paper and I was like, you know, I think I want on my certificate, Corporal Deanne Sack, genocide survivor in Mi'kmaq. And he's like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no, I'm not. So he had to float that up through the chain of command. And it was recently came back and it was like denied. So the Prime Minister, his team or whoever won't be signing off on that. But hey, I tried. E for effort. I'm not even quite sure what else Nick wanted me to share. He said, just be free flowing and just speak from my heart. But like I said, it's times like this that really warms my heart and makes me proud to be a Mi'kmaq woman from Mi'kmaq, because when times get tough, we roll up our sleeves and we take care of one another. We take care of one another in the kindest and possible, gentlest way. And for that, like, thank you for having me here, and thank you for the supports that are put in place for everyone. And like I said, if nobody's told you lately, like, you're loved, and never forget that. And thank you to everyone who has participated. Jane, I just love you. I could listen to you forever talking. Thank you. I don't know what's next.
Very well said, Dan. Thank you so much. Wei, I just wanted to begin by saying that I'm not presenting today as a therapist, although I am, but a second generation survivor with a lot of knowledge in how to heal. So here I begin to introduce myself by saying that I've been told in response to the recent event on me and all of us here today and our family and community, but you lived through it to tell the tale. My immediate response is that I don't want to be a storyteller. I just want to walk my own journey. I don't want to have to be strong every day. I want to be able to rest. And I don't want to have to always cry because my heart feels the pain of our people in times like this. I don't always want to be a first voice in every social gathering or lecture or educational event, as we all know. I have pain and I have behaviors that I didn't understand for many years. And those stories, of course, belong to you, my family, and my elders. But I know now that this is called generational trauma. My name is Robin Hazard, and I am here today to support and to sit in a space where I am part of a sad story of strong people. I hope today we can all find the support and love we need to continue to carry the burden of all the social barriers and limited accesses to services, which is, as we know, a direct impact of colonization and industrialism. Well, Alan, for listening to me, introduce myself and welcoming me here today. Before I go, I just wanted to leave you guys with a few tips to maybe help us along as we're trying to struggle through these events, especially during times of COVID. Spiritual connection, most important. I find grounding is something that we all seem to forget. The earth's strength is so much more powerful than us, and science even agrees that this is something that we've known for a long time and that is very helpful for us. Smudging as well. Not all of us have the ability to, but I know we can reach out at this time. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are trying to help as many people as they can to be able to do that at home. Or participating in any spiritual, cultural event via social media, or in person, hopefully someday soon. I think that connecting with our friends and family via social media is very important for us right now due to COVID. We found that connecting during this time of isolation is kind of helping reduce some of the anxiety and the stress that's resulting of that. Most importantly, I wanted to say if it would be possible to limit our access to the social media. I found that hearing the same event through social media is actually multiplying the emotional feelings that we have about an event. And I know knowledge is important, but knowledge overload is keeping the pain and it's keeping us in a hypervigilant state. So if possible, try to reduce that and kind of seek out information when you need to. I also wanted to say that a lot of us, are currently being asked to participate in First Voice and participate in Frontline. Although I know that is very, very important for us, we need to remember that we need to take time to rest. And that as we rest, we always have to know that there is still many of us still standing at all times. So be careful, self-care, be part of things, but also remember it is okay to take a break. Also, before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're finding that things are getting to be too much and, the things that yourself to try to do to help reduce your stress, or the things that we provide aren't helping, take the time to reach out to services that I know that it's going to be provided at the end of this event today. And then I know that some of those services definitely are being more accessible and more available to people. So just be mindful to always reach out above yourself if you are not coping. And I do thank you guys very much for listening to me talk today. And I will pass you on.
Thank you, Robin. It's a lot to take in, and the last couple weeks, for not for our own people, and for Canadians in general and the world, it has become something. It has stained Canada's hands. We've known this already. We've known this. There's been talks about the Shubenacadie Residential School. We've talked about that area. I've worked for residential school survivors for about a decade. I'm a young man, but I was baptized with fire. And I was a resolution health support worker for about 10 years. And I worked with many survivors from all across the Atlantic region, from Newfoundland all the way to Quebec. I was there when with the IAP hearings and all this. So this is something that the survivors have been talking about for years, that they know that there are people buried, children that are buried at the Shubenacadie school site. We know that. My father talked about it. My father was a residential school survivor, and many people all across our territory know somebody or is descended from a residential school survivor. So I commend you. You know, like what Robin said, be mindful of yourself. Be mindful of the things that you hear. Vicarious trauma is so it's you know, you hear a story or something and it sticks with you. That's vicarious trauma. So, you know, like what Robin said, you know, take care of yourself. Be mindful of everything that's going on. Take time for yourself. Connect to different things and practice those, you know, those different tools that you could use to ground yourself. So, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Deanne. You know, your words are wonderful. Rebecca Thomas, thank you for your poem. Lee Chuck, wala it up. Coral, thank you very much for that poem. And last but not least, you know, our elder Jane Meter, who I am proud to call, you know, my elder. She's one of the ones I got on speed dial on my phone. She's very tech savvy, by the way. She's really good. So with that, walalio msut. Tana daljik saduri ninen. Gishkaji we're school demek. Dako edan dalipia nega Shubenacadie residential school like. Muy wal lomsit. That's a good walalio. Thank you for joining us and to talk about the difficult things about Shubenacadie Residential School, but also the residential school in Kamloops and those 215 children that they unearthed. We know that here in our territory, we know that area and should be school. We know that they're there still. We just have to find them. So with that, in closing, I'm going to sing a song. You know, us old new people. And you know, I'm a Powwow person, you know, and my Powwow family, you know, we travel all summer, and we recognize and we honor those residential school survivors who started the powwows here in Mijua'ji'jkik. Tom Paul, residential school survivor. Everybody knows Tom Paul. He was from this community. He's one of those people, one of the first people to start powwowing in the East Coast. And he was a residential school survivor, along with many, you know, different people all across our territory. I'm sorry I can't name everybody, but I know in this community in Eskasoni, you know, my father, Georgina Doucette, Noel Doucette, you know, residential school survivors who started our powwow 30 years ago. So with that being said, I'm going to sing a powwow song for you guys. It's a victory song. And a victory song was always, you'll hear it, one of the last songs sung after the powwow, after everything is done. This victory song is for those children. This victory song is for you because we are victorious. We are here. We're going to be here forever. So, walalio. Thank you. Yeah.